Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another weekly Global Kirtan Dewan. This week is very special as we have Kirtan by campers and past scholarship winners as well as senior counselors of the organization. We also have a very special guest, one of the old stalwarts of the organization, sharing his thoughts on Papaji and how IIGS project started.
We will also have a special presentation where we will be announcing the winners of the 2021-22 Captain KH Singh Scholarships. And we will conclude today's program with one of Papaji's favorite shabads, the last one that he practiced with the IGS Jatha in December 2010.
So let's start with a shabad from Sardar JasNaam Singh and Sadhani NavRung Kaur. They had the pleasure of spending some precious moments of their childhood with Papaji. So over to them. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। बंदना 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 बंदना
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you, JasNaam and NavRung. Every time I think of NavRung or see her, the image of her getting her hair combed by Papaji in front of my eyes. She would never let anybody else touch her but Papaji. And she will sit with him calmly, quietly, and he would so nicely comb her hair. Same thing with JasNaam. At one of the after camp programs at Gurdwara Biona Park, every time I see JasNaam, that image, that video comes in my mind.
I have a
That JasNaam chasing
extra
Papaji.
microphone.
Papaji was amazing, especially with the youth and children. My mom used to call him a Pied Piper, and she would say, "Thank God he leads them to the house of the wonderful gurus." Next, we have our very dear Sardar Inderjeet Singh and Sardar Simardeep Singh from Southern California doing one shabad. Simardeep is an Iigs Scholarship winner from the past, and it brings a lot of joy to see both of them, both these brothers, do such beautiful Gurbani Kirtan. Aao pyar naal shabad sarvan kariye. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki
Fateh.
Fateh.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ Jai Ho Jaya Hai, my का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
Thank you, Simardeep and Inderjeet, for the beautiful Kirtan Seva. Stay blessed in Guru Seva always. When we talk about IIGS, hundreds and hundreds of volunteers worldwide who have given so many years of their lives come to mind. This organization will not be there without the support and active participation of these wonderful souls.
Today, we have a very special individual, a stalwart of the organization, here with us, Sardar Amarjit Singh Kohli. We call him Amarjit Virji. He spent umpteen hours with Papaji at the time when this organization was going to be launched, and played an integral role in the first 12 to 15 years of the organization. He traveled with Papaji to UK, Thailand, US, and other places. We requested him to join us today and give us an insight into his life, early years of IGS or IIGS, and his very dear friend whom he always addressed as Captain Sahib. Due to COVID, we couldn't send anyone over to his place to record his talk, so we did a Zoom call. So over to Virji. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
I want to tell you first. You see, I joined a government institution, Indian Standards Institution, in August 1966. Its name is now Bureau of Indian Standards. 2 years later, in September 68, a gentleman, a very smart-looking gentleman with, good-looking tight beard, he had joined Bureau of Indian Standards. Before that, I want to tell you a little background about myself. I'm a qualified mechanical engineer who graduated from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh in 1964. Then after a first job in a project in UP, I had joined Bureau of Indian Standards. I was involved in a lot of cultural and musical activities right from the very first year, and used to produce Punjabi dramas, comedies, Punjabi musical programs. In addition to that, while in Bureau of Indian Standards, 4 more people from the same institution had joined from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh. And we used to discuss to form an old boys association of the Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh. And this fructified after a lot of meetings. And 1967, it came into being. And the other main task was organizing cultural musical programs. And I used to invite to my dramas all prominent Sikhs of Delhi, because I was interested that they sponsor my programs. So I invited Captain Sahib. I always used to call him Captain Sahib and not Papa, till the very end also. And he used to call me Amarjit ji. So I invited him to a few of my dramas in Sapru House, and he could see a very good crowd and all that. Then one day he called me, Amarjit ji, let's have a cup of tea together. You come and I just want to talk to you. So I went to him, and he was always talking about Sikhism, about the Sikh way of life, and used to tell me about his past when he was in the army, where he had developed another organization which was doing the work of promotion of Sikhism. He used to tell me many things about Sikhism. I was so much involved in my musical and these engineering college, Chandigarh things, and many other things also. I could not find much time to spend with him. But whenever I used to spend 5 minutes, he would always talk about that. He would also talk about something about myself just to cheer me up. And he wanted me also to be involved. After that, I started studying Sikhism by consulting many books, became member of so many libraries, and then I felt convinced. I thought, now I am good enough to listen or to be associated with something about an organization which he wanted to start about promoting the cause of Sikhism. So then I started spending more time with him. And since I also had got this background of Sikhism, we could talk about it and develop more. At that time, it was in 71 that he decided that let's do some sort of edification camps. That was called edification camps, not Sikh youth camps. We both were coming from a very broad-minded outlook. We were almost on the same equal footing as far as our thoughts and clarity of what needs to be done. Although I must tell you, I had a very, very nice background, family background, both from my paternal grandfather and my maternal grandfather. My paternal grandfather was in the Akali movement. He used to bring out a Urdu newspaper called Darpane Punjab, and we had a huge house with an independent room for keeping Guru Granth Sahib, where my grandmother used to do Kirtan. On the maternal grandfather side also, I had a rich background. But both having these backgrounds were not good enough to inspire me to spend some time for the cause of Sikhism. No, the role of Bapa is this, that what my grandparents could not do, or I could not learn from them, his devotion, his extraordinary sincerity, and his single line purpose of life to do something unique for the Sikh community by educating by inspiring the youth. That was his single-minded purpose. Whenever I used to come to him, to talk a little here and there about something, and then most of the time was spent on about talking about this project, and this continued for a year, talking about the project only. Then it was decided that we organize a edification camp, and there was a very tough question whether both girls and boys should be involved, should be called to the camp. And there was discussion often on this. We both were of the view that they should be together. So we decided that both of them should be, we should organize a Sikh youth camp called Edification Camp, and where both the boys and girls would be invited. To prepare for the camp and to get money, getting money is not an easy thing. But anyway, Bapa was so good in talks, he would just convince them and ask them also to send young children if they have. So that was how in 1972 we held our first camp in Shahadra. I think 7 or 8 days we held that camp. Both boys and girls were there. Before that, we both had discussed and laid what will constitute the whole day program of the camp. Now, since I was very closely connected with these musical people, so I invited all of them to this first camp itself and be there. They were also already knowing Kirtan, and so they used to perform Kirtan with an orchestra, not only harmonium, but a full orchestra consisting of guitar and this, which may have been a new thing. But they were very good. And the boys were so, girls as well as the boys were so inspired because they had to learn so many new things. They learned so many new things about Sikhism, which their parents had not told them enough. Like mine grandparent, like mine grandfather or father. So they learned so many new things. They started feeling proud of themselves. And that was happening to very topmost families because all these people also started their daughters and sons to also participate in our camps. So all this started in this humble way. And my only contribution has not been much, except that I helped him to raise funds through those people who used to fund my programs also, and introduced him to a lot many new people, officials, Sardarjis, well-known people, managing directors. Many of them came for the first camp also, including Mr. Manmohan Singh, who was the managing director of Frick India, Mr. Inderjeet Singh, chairman, Punjab and Sindh Bank. He gave us the front cover page, which was covering almost half the cost of the camp, and the campsite was free. So we were able to raise that fund, although we had to spend majority of our time, the afternoon, sweating, in the hot weather. Every day religiously we will go and collect these funds. So that is sort of my initial involvement. I would have never been involved in this activity at all, as I told you. But then I cut short that time and I spent more hours with him right from 1970 for these full 14 years. You can say almost 2 hours were spent every day, 2 to 3 hours, sometimes more, on talking and about trying to build what can further be done. We even had so many new things. The Sikh portrait. I used to contribute my articles also on that because I used to write for newspapers also at that time on some artistic activities, even Hindustan Times, even Dainik Hindustan. So in this, another thing which incidentally I remember during this, that I was made the treasurer of this Institute of Gurmat Studies. One day, a sudden incident was another eye-opener and increased my respect for him too much. And I may be sometimes mixing years, but as thoughts come to my mind, I'm saying, during one of our international tours, which was much later, one of the Sangat fellows gave a check of rupees 50,000 to Papa and saying, this is not to be credited to IGS. This should be credited to your, I am giving it to you, not to IGS, because of your contribution to the cause of Sikhism. So as usual, I wanted, the check was, the blank check was there, the name was to be put. And he said, it is not for you. So then the check was given, I started writing the name. And he said, no, not me. Write the name of Institute of Gurmat Studies and cross it. I said, he has given it to you. And he says, no, he's given to me because of my contribution for IGS. It should go to IGS. And I had to deposit it in the account of IGS. And look at the time at that time. Bappa was financially not strong at all. I have no hesitation in telling, because I'm just saying whatever I feel, that one day when I came to him, he wrote on a piece of paper. This is a memorable moment. After this thing happened, one day he wrote on a piece of paper, Amarjit ji, may I borrow 40 rupees from you? That was on month end, about 28th of the month. So I'll return on the 1st of month. So I marveled that here is a man who needed 40 rupees badly, that he had to ask me to loan him, whereas he was getting 50,000 rupees to be credited to his account. And insisted by that person, it is no, not for IGS, it is for you. So that shows the integrity of the man, that shows the sincerity of the man to this institution, and that speaks of his inner spiritual power. One more thing which was very impressive to me, that whenever I used to go and sit with him for hours, we talked like very ordinary mortals and, just exchange and casually, talk about Sikhism and other manners. But the moment he took to stage, he seemed to me an altogether different person. And when you started speaking, I used to wonder how this man, whom with him I am having such an ordinary talk as with any other man, now he's talking, it seems, from a different soul. He is not that Captain Harbhajan Singh with which I used to meet. He is something else. It really, and he would speak extempore, never prepare a speech. He would just decide. And sometimes he would not even know what I have said. So that was a soul connected to God, Vaheguru, instantly. Only a very spiritual and very committed persons would behave like that. He had all the qualities. He had all the sincerity. I may go on talking about him for so many things, so many incidents, and that is something extraordinary. I can say that I have known so many people due to my these activities. But he was one man who was unique. I have no hesitation in saying that with all these having known all these people, even saints and all these people, all kinds of leaders, even politicians, whatever it is, he was one man only who shone as a different star amongst this, in the night, they're so bright, so inspiring, so sincere. I've often wondered during my study of various religions, even I've studied Rig Vedas or Rig Vedas, all these different, and learned about Satyug, Treta, and all those. And I used to wonder why people talk so highly of Satyug and what kind of people in Satyug would be looking like, how they would be different. I always used to wonder. Then I realized much later, perhaps now, that if I had to know a man from Satyug, he was my friend, Captain Harbhajan Singh Papa.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you so much, Veerji, for taking your time and taking us down the memory lane. I know we bothered you late evening of yours and took a couple of hours of your time, and it was just amazing conversation. It's so hard for any of us to truly speak about Dad or Papaji. I know it's impossible for me. I wish I could fill the social media pages as many do expressing our emotions. For me, they are too personal to share. However, when you hear people like Veerji, it makes one very emotional. Papaji was a very special soul, and if this organization is keeping his legacy alive, it's because of Vaheguruji's grace, his years of untiring work that he did while he was here, and love and support of the entire IIGS family worldwide.
Talking about IIGS family, next we have the first ever IIGS Jatha's female lead singer, a senior counselor whose work can't be put into words. Sadhani Kiranjit Kaur from UK. We requested Didi to speak about Papa. However, she said that they would like to do Shabad Kirtan in Papa's memory. So here is a couple of Shabads by their family, Sadhani Kiranjit Kaur with her husband Sardar Tejinder Singh Ji and their son Sahib Singh on the tabla. Aao pyar naal Shabad Kirtan sarvan kariye. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਖਾ ਸਭਨੀ ਥਾਈ ਆਪੋ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾੜਾ ਜਿਉ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਖਾ ਸਭਨੀ ਥਾਈ ਆਪੋ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾੜਾ ਜਿਉ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਤਾ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਤਾ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੰਧਕ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਤਾ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਖਾ ਸਭਨੀ ਥਾਈ ਆਪੋ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾੜਾ ਜਿਉ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਖਾ ਸਭਨੀ ਥਾਈ ਆਪੋ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾੜਾ ਜਿਉ। ਤੁਮਰੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਧ ਪਛਾਣਾ। ਤੁਮਰੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਧ ਪਛਾਣਾ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਓਟ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਣਾ। ਤੁਮਰੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਧ ਪਛਾਣਾ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਓਟ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਣਾ। ਤੁਝ ਬਿਨ ਦੂਜਾ ਅਵਰ ਨ ਕੋਈ। ਤੁਝ ਬਿਨ ਦੂਜਾ ਅਵਰ ਨ ਕੋਈ। ਸਭ ਤੇਰਾ ਖੇਲ ਅਖਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਤੇਰਾ ਖੇਲ ਅਖਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਤੇਰਾ ਖੇਲ ਅਖਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਖਾ ਸਭਨੀ ਥਾਈ ਆਪੋ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਤਾ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੰਧਕ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਭਰਾਤਾ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਖਾ ਸਭਨੀ ਥਾਈ ਆਪੋ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਜੀ ਜੰਤ ਸਭ ਤੁਧ ਉਪਾਏ। ਜੀ ਜੰਤ ਸਭ ਤੁਧ ਉਪਾਏ। ਜਿਤ ਜਿਤ ਪਾਣਾ ਜਿਤ ਜਿਤ ਲਾਏ। ਜੀ ਜੰਤ ਸਭ ਤੁਧ ਉਪਾਏ। ਜਿਤ ਜਿਤ ਪਾਣਾ ਜਿਤ ਜਿਤ ਲਾਏ। ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੋਵੇ। ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੋਵੇ। ਨਾਹੀ ਕਿਛ ਅਸਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਨਾਹੀ ਕਿਛ ਅਸਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਨਾਹੀ ਕਿਛ ਅਸਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਖਾ ਸਭਨੀ ਥਾਈ ਆਪੋ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾੜਾ ਜੀਓ। ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਤਾ। ਤੂੰ ध्याए महासुख पाया नाम ध्याए महासुख पाया हर गुण गाए मेरा मन शीतलाया नाम ध्याए महासुख पाया हर गुण गाए मेरा मन शीतलाया नाम ध्याए महासुख पाया हर गुण गाए मेरा मन शीतलाया गुरपुर भजी बधाई गुरपुर भजी बधाई नानक जीता बिखाड़ा जियो नानक जीता बिखाड़ा जियो नानक जीता बिखाड़ा जियो तू मेरा राखा सबने खाई कापो के काड़ा जियो तू मेरा पिता तू है मेरा माता तू मेरा पिता तू है मेरा माता तू मेरा बंधक तू मेरा काका तू मेरा रखा सबने थाई कापो के काड़ा जियो तू मेरा रखा तू मेरा रखा तू मेरा रखा वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह जो हमारी बित होती मेरे सतगुरा साबित तुम हर जानो आपे हम रुलते फिरते कोई बात न पूछता गुर सत गुर संग कीरे हम थापे सबे जी समाल सबे जी समाल आपनी मेरे कर आपनी मेरे कर सबे
जी समाल
सबे
जी समाल
आपनी मेरे कर आपनी मेरे कर हम पानी मुझे उपाय हम पानी मुझे उपाय दुख दर्द सबे जी समा संभाले सबे जी संभाले नानक नाम पे आए प्रभ का सफल करे
नानक नाम पे आए प्रभु का सफल करे
नानक नाम पे आए प्रभ का सफल करे सफल करे प्रभ का सफल करे सबे जी संभाले सबे जी संभाले अपनी मेहर करे अपनी मेहर करे अन्न पानी मुझे उगाए अन्न पानी मुझे उगाए दुख दर्द अन्न करे सबे जी संभाले सबे जी संभाले अपनी मेहर करे अपनी मेहर करे सबे जी संभाले वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह
Waheguru Ji Ka
Khalsa,
Khalsa,
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you so very much, Tejinder Ji, Kiran Didi, and Sahib. You know, sometimes I have had a couple of people ask me why each program is so special. Every program you say is a special program. And to us, it's special because such wonderful souls from around the world give their time for this program. Sahib was in US for his job and he just went back for a short break, but he made time to record Kirtan with his parents. To me, that's very special. And look at any other. NavRung, JasNaam, they have their full schedule. Inderjeet and Simar, they have their colleges, but they make time. And similarly, hundreds of people who have done Kirtan, Katha, Sakhis, they make special time. And so each moment, each Diwan is a blessing they're showering on us. And hence, it's a special Diwan for us, a very, very special Diwan. So thank you again, Didi, Veji, and Sahib.
Next, we have the scholarship segment. Captain KH Singh Sikh Youth Scholarships was started in the memory of Papaji after his passing away in 2011. This year, we were overwhelmed with the response. So let's jump into the scholarship presentation right away. Starting us off is Sadhani Kaur from Southern California, and following her is Sadhani Kaur from Southern California too, who will be announcing the winners.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. On today's Day of Remembrance, we reflect on Captain Kaur Harbhajan Singh Ji, fondly known as Papaji, and his vision of encouraging educational opportunities for our Sikh youth. This year marks the 11th year Sikh youth in North America were given the opportunity to apply for the IIGS Captain KH Singh Sikh Youth Scholarships established in honor of his memory. To date, with Vaheguruji's blessings, over $50,000 have been given to deserving Sikh youth. Papaji was a strong proponent of paying forward when it concerned our youth. Each of us in the Sangat have a duty to ensure a future for our children, which includes retaining Sikhi values and Sikhi Sarup. Each generation sets the example for the next generation to create an environment where our youth foster love for our Guru's teachings and retaining Sikhi values. I have personally seen how important it was to Papa that our Sikh youth be encouraged to love their Sikh heritage and be proud to be in Sikhi Sarup when I attended the IIGS camps. He was very fond of children and wanted them to be encouraged for their achievements, especially those excelling in sports, academics, music, and the list goes on. It was very important to Papa to highlight the balance between spiritual and academic education. Sikh youth who are high school senior level up to college level students within North America up to the maximum age of 22 are eligible to apply for this wonderful opportunity. All the details are on our website, www.iigs.com. A large number of applications were received this year, and the judges had a very difficult time choosing amongst stellar candidates. We are proud to announce that with Vaheguruji's grace, this year IIGS will award 7 scholarships instead of 5, and each scholarship amount will be $1,000. This was only possible with the outpouring of love and Sewa from you, our community members. Let's continue this journey together and pledge support for even more of our Sikh youth pursuing higher education. Let this day of remembrance be about our own commitment to solidifying the path to retain Sikhi values and Sikhi Sarup for our youth as envisioned by Papa. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
ऐसा ज्ञान जपो मन मेरे, होवो चाकर साचे खेरे. O my mind, meditate on such wisdom that you become the slave of the true Lord. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. It gives me immense pleasure to talk about this segment of the program that focuses on the IIGS scholarships. As you know, the scholarships are in the memory of Captain Kaur Harparjan Singh Ji, the founder of International Institute of Gurmat Studies, IIGS, and lovingly called Papa. Ya Papa. It was Papa's vision and goal to ignite the Sikhi spirit in the youth so that they could begin and continue their life's journey using the guidance of the Guru. Bhagat Kabir Ji in Pavan Akhri teaches the Kakka Khakha Gagga of Gurbani. When talking about Mamma, he dedicates 3 stanzas to talking about the man or the mind. Let us just read one line. Mamma man syo kaj hai, man sadhe siddh hoye. A mortal's business is with his mind. One who disciplines his mind attains perfection. Depending upon how the mind is engaged will determine the outcome of one's life's journey. The mind is deeply influenced by the sensory organs which help one to engage with the world. It is clarity of purpose, determination, perseverance, lots of demanding work, and of course, Vaheguruji's meher that help one in achieving one's goals. Now you may wonder, why am I talking about the mind when I'm supposed to be talking about the scholarships? The reason is the IIGS Scholarship Committee is looking for those Sikh youth who show that they are focused not only on attaining an elevated level of academic achievement, but also very importantly on trying to understand the Guru's message. These scholarships are just a little pat on the back to say, continue on this path, fall in love with Vaheguruji and become a recipient of His grace and mercy. A review of the applications revealed years of dedication on the parts of the parents, who are the first teachers and help instill sound values in their children. It also highlighted that these applicants are attempting to focus their minds and use their time to pursue excellence in academics, sports, Gatka, Gurmat Sangeet, in learning Punjabi, reading Gurbani, doing Kirtan, and in some cases, teaching younger kids at the local Punjabi schools. Almost all applicants had spent time in community service and Sewa, which I'm sure was much appreciated during these challenging times. It was very heartening to read a teacher describe her student as a rare jewel that will continue to shine as the years progress. Today, it is my honor to announce the names of 7 Sikh youth who excel in academics, show leadership qualities, do Sewa in their local communities, are learning Gurbani, doing Kirtan and even Sahaj Path. We pray that Vaheguruji will guide each of your journeys, that you will focus your mind on what is important. Though IIGS had announced that up to 5 scholarships of $1,000 each could be awarded, on reviewing the applications, it was decided to award the scholarships to 7 deserving candidates. As you know, IIGS is a non-profit organization entirely run by volunteers, and funds are raised through donations from the Sangat. We wish we could award larger sums and to many more applicants. So please do support the organization in future endeavors. The recipients of the 2021-22 IIGS KH Singh scholarships of $1,000 each are Sardar Kaur, a high school student from Walnut, California; Sardar Amitoj Singh, a high school student from Fontana, California; Sardarni Amrita Priya Kaur, a college student from West Covina, California; Sardarni Iigs Kaur, a college student from Manitoba, Canada; Sardarni Harleen Kaur, a college student from Cypress, Texas; Sardarni Jaitsri Kaur, a high school student from Ontario, Canada; and Sardar JasNaam Singh, a college student from Baltimore, Maryland.
Bole Sonehal
Sat Sri Akal। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਿਹਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਹੱਥ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਰੱਖਣ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you so much, Guninder and Maninder Kaurji, for the scholarship presentation. Congratulations to all the winners. You guys are blessed. Keep doing what you're doing and even more. And we're really, really proud of you. And thank you so much for applying and making the whole effort of doing it. For those who did not win the award this year, don't be disappointed. Just remember that you are all amazing, and we will encourage you to apply again next year. This brings us to the last shabad of today. This shabad has to be one of Papaji's most favorites. Back in 2010, when he got really sick in India and he had to be hospitalized, according to him, this shabad kept playing in him throughout his stay. And when I went to the hospital to see him, he asked me to prepare a tune for this shabad. And we started doing that right there in the hospital. When he got home, when he got discharged from the hospital, his first thing was, let's sing the shabad. And he made me pull out the harmonium when he sat, and we sang the shabad for about 2 hours straight as we practiced the tune. What we have next is a short glimpse of the practice session, thanks to Karan, who recorded this. It was the practice for the New Year Eve program that we do every year. And Papa wanted to do this shabad, and he sat with us and we all sang together. And who would know that that was the last New Year Eve that we would have together. We will start with this little short video recording with everyone singing and practicing with him, and you can hear him really distinctly. And then lead into the formal release of this shabad that was done in his memory in the CD that we produced called Nikat Vase Nahi Prabhudur. Aao प्यार नाल शब्द सरवण करिए। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
नाही प्रभु निकट वसै नाही प्रभु जल थल माहियाला रहया भरपूर जल थल माहियाला रहया भरपूर निकट वसै नाही प्रभु निकट वसै जल थल माहियल रहया भरपूर जल थल माहियल रहया भरपूर निकट वसै नाही प्रभु दूर निकट वसै जिसनो लाए लय सो लागे जिसनो लाए लय सो लागे ज्ञान रताना अंतर तिस जा नाम ते आए निकट वसै नाही प्रभ दूर निकट वसै नाही प्रभ कर जोड़ करो अरदास दोई कर जोड़ करो अरदास तुद पावे ता आणे रास तुद पावे जल थल महियाला रहया भरपूर जल थल महियाला रहया भरपूर निकट वसै नाही प्रभ दूर निकट वसै प्रभ दूर निकट वसै नाही प्रभ दूर नाही प्रभ दूर नाही प्रभ दूर नाही
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह.
Hope you all enjoyed that shabad as much as we do. This brings us to the conclusion of today's program. Thanks to everyone for joining. Congratulations to all the scholarship winners. And thank you to all the participants, especially Amarjit Virji, Kiran Didi and Tejinder Virji.
Next week is going to be the Sukhmani Sahib series week. We have another wonderful soul in Sardar, Arvinder Singh Ji, joining us from Chandigarh. He will be conducting this workshop for the 18th Ashtapadi, and we will also have some soul-stirring Kirtan and Naam Simran. We know COVID restrictions are getting eased. However, still, please take full precautions, stay safe, do your Naam Simran and Nitnem, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Till then, take care of yourself. Guru Angsang, Guru Rakha, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.